apparently Besa thinks she's a fucking comedian.
I am.
Who does that? Who just says they're funny? Did I say you funny, bitch? I ain't say you funny.
Okay, well, fine. You do the show on your goddamn self.
Fuck that.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Janae Besa.
And I'm your girl, Jazzy M.
We are here with episode 2. And we're not always going to count down episodes, but it is nice to make it to your second milestone and be on the same day that you recorded it last week. So, topics that we're doing for today.
Topic number 1, local news. Topic number 2, celebrities. Topic number 3, local events.
Then we're going to talk a little bit about reality TV, music. Now, when it comes to music, we will be recapping a little bit of Ashanti and Rick Ross's album.
Nice.
And we'll definitely give our thoughts on that. Then we're going to talk a little bit about relationships. And lastly, my favorite subject in the world, mind your goddamn business.
Mind your own goddamn business.
Mind your business,
Mind
people.
your business,
Just
people.
mind it. And then when you're not minding it, you definitely can't be mad at me when I tell you to mind your business.
Well, don't be minding my business if you're going to be minding anybody's business. Mind your own goddamn business, okay? All right, so topic number 1, starting off, let's talk about this 17-year-old boy that has officially ruined his life and has murdered a man
54.
over a cell phone and a safe deposit bag. First of all, where's the parenting in that? Like, mind you, his mother has turned him in, okay? So what does she feel like as a mom having to turn her son in over murder in a safe deposit bag?
And a cell phone. Was it an iPhone?
Cell phone. I'm hoping so. At least it'd be an Apple product. I mean, really. It's pathetic. Most of the time, people, ride with their kids, when you're younger.
What would you do if your son did some shit like that?
If my son did some shit like that, first of all, I'll whoop his ass, but I'll ride with my son all the way. I'm not even going to lie to you. I would ride with my son all the way, honestly, because that is my child. That's my fetus. I have had him. He's a part of me. But I don't think that it's right.
So you wouldn't turn him in?
I don't think so.
Would you try to get him to turn himself in?
I would try to get him to turn himself in, but I wouldn't turn him in personally. And that's just honestly because I feel like, what's wrong is wrong. And I would tell him, I would never be with it, but I would definitely not give my baby away.
Now, what if, due to you knowing and you not turning him in, and then he gets caught, and then he's like, well, I told my mama.
Then you're accessory to murder.
And now what you gonna do because you didn't turn him in?
And I'm like, I didn't know nothing about this shit.
I'm sorry, son. You go down on your own.
You gotta go down on your own.
I tried to be nice. I tried to not turn you in.
No, but to be completely honest, though, I would really try to have my son turn himself in. I don't think I'd call the authorities just because I was raised on a no, we don't fuck with police kind of thing. But I definitely agree with what's wrong is wrong. And you have to teach your kids what's right, period.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the fact that you essentially ruined your career.
Any career he was going to have, he has ruined. I mean, no one really wants a murderer on their resume.
Wasn't he going for basketball?
No.
Or football?
No. Football. Baseball? Speaking of football, let's talk about the 17-year-old boy. Mind you, all these kids are young. They're young boys out here doing crazy stuff. 17-year-old boy, Ohio, has gotten his 14-year-old cousin pregnant. Now, the thing that I don't like about that is that 30 colleges were looking at this boy. That means that you were playing the hell out of some football, okay? Why is it that you feel the need to go have sex with your cousin? If you're that big, I mean, apparently girls are liking you. Isn't that what they did in high school?
School wants you at that point.
Right. And so you feel the need to go and impregnate your cousin.
So,
not teen.
Breaking it down into layman's terms, you're 17. So that means you're like 9 out of 10 a senior in high school, if not a junior. And if you're a junior, you're a very popular junior because all the colleges are looking at you. Meaning that you have every girl in the school coming after you, all the cheerleaders, everybody wants you. And you impregnate your 14-year-old cousin?
Your cousin! Since when has ever...
You have vagina getting thrown at you. And you impregnate
You're the man, and you just go fuck your cousin?
What?
What kind of shit is that? weird.
Is she gonna have the baby?
Apparently she's got an abortion.
Okay, that's a good idea because isn't it true that when you have like related babies,
they come weird out crazy? Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely wouldn't fuck my cousin. None of my cousins is worth none of that. My baby looking all weird, having distress and
like hillbilly ass children,
syndromes and shit. I don't know about all that, but at the end of the day, it's not okay to ruin your career. If you're in a sport, stay in the sport. If you're in a college, stay in the college. Do what you need to do.
And parents, watch your goddamn kids.
Watch your kids.
You know your child has these kids that have these scholarships due to just playing sports. You have such an easy ride because at that particular point, 9 out of 10, these teachers don't care if you're doing well in school. They just want you to do well enough to where you can make sure that the school wins all the games. They win the championship, playoffs, and they want to make sure that you went to their high school when you go NFL.
Especially if you're that huge. Especially if you're as huge as enough for 30 colleges to be looking at you. You're that huge to where the teachers are going to want to push you along and make sure that you make do.
And another thing.
Yeah.
Kids need to make sure that they realize if you're 16 and you're dating someone that's 17 and people find out, a problem is going to be had.
Absolutely.
Or shall I say if you're dating someone that's 18.
At some point.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Kids nowadays, I don't know if they watch too much reality TV. I don't know. Probably.
That's all
I don't know if
TV
they're on
nowadays.
TMZ too much. Whatever the case may be. You kids, and if you're watching this show, you really shouldn't be under the age of 18. But that's okay. I'm going to tell you this. Be smart. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was like 16, 17, dating a 20-some-odd-year-old. But guess what? Did nobody know? I was on the pill. Know that as I got older, I thought about it. I'm like, what the fuck was his issue dating me when I was in high school and he was a grown-ass man with jobs, home place, and all this kind of stuff? I really didn't get that, but whatever have you. Mm-hmm. It wasn't to a point to where he would have gone to jail. Like, I made sure I never got pregnant. I made sure nobody ever knew. Like, don't go posting pictures about this shit on Facebook. And what I know that we're not talking about Basketball Wives yet, but on the first or second episode of Basketball Wives, there's one girl, I can't remember her name, but her daughter, who's like 16 or whatever, was dating like an 18-year-old dude. And there was a picture of her that like leaked on Instagram.
Not okay.
Of her kissing the dude's penis.
Oh.
Mind you, the penis was like that big.
You're talking about Sunday.
The penis was so little.
That broad's messy. Anyway, she's messy as hell. If you see the way she is, you would understand the way her daughter is. Okay.
And I'm not even laughing because he's 17 and he had a small penis. I'm laughing because I was 17 and I dated some dudes and I ain't ever seen no shit like that.
No, I ain't never seen no shit like that.
It was like you was 10 and she was happy. Like she just all on the...
That bothered me because then after I seen the picture and then I seen her on the show, I'm like, girl, what's going on with your hair, first of all? Second of all, obviously you have no guidance. Look at your mom. Her mom has played in state property. Her mom is not really had any big roles, but her mom thinks she's an actor or whatever. But she's messy as hell. Sunday, get it together.
Sarah Jessica Parker was here on Wednesday, and I don't appreciate the fact that I didn't know anything about it until my managers went down there and took a picture with her. I was like, say what now? Then we had Mr. DJ Kunlev on Como News.
Nice.
And in news.
Wait, what I like about Kun is that Kun is actually a guy that's a working man, and, you know, he does his entertainment whole scene on the side, but he's really a working man, and he's really could be an idol to some people, you know what I mean?
It's one of those things where it's like, I think people are very quick to think that you make it and you don't have to have a 9-to-5 job. This man is up till 4 o'clock in the morning and still gets up 2 hours later and takes his butt to his day job.
Right.
And then at night, you see him at a club. That's all I'm saying.
And I hear that, you know, as much as you want success, that means no sleep. So I am all for the 2 hours sleeping right now.
And lastly, in news, I did want to mention this. I haven't got a chance to actually read into why these women beat this 14-year-old girl just because she got suspended. And I quite frankly don't care. This is what bothers me. Their mugshots. It bothers me that they're smiling. Like, I have a thing about people that get arrested and they just look extremely cheerful. And then you read the caption and it says, 3 Florida, it doesn't really say Florida, but close enough. 3 Florida women beat 14-year-old girl in school parking lot over suspension.
Something extremely tragic, and then you look at these broads and they have smiles on their faces. Like, how is that something that's funny?
It doesn't even say why the fuck they suspended her, which means that it really wasn't even that big of a deal. She probably just got in a fight. Who knows?
Usually these are people that are on drugs or dealing with some kind of exactly. They really do look like they're on drugs, but this is usually some people that are on drugs or having some kind of personal problem they're mad at someone else, so they're taking out on the kid or whatever. But it's not right for especially 3 women that are not her mother to be beating on a 14-year-old girl because she's gotten suspended, okay?
Take her iPhone. She'll be fine.
Something.
So let's talk just a little bit about events that are going on in Seattle, mainly the ones that we're going to be at. I'm not trying to be rude, but I really don't care if I'm not going. Like, I'm not going to be there, so I can't tell you how it was if I'm not going. So, any hoodles. So, on March 13th, we have a show with Thaddeus David, Dante Peace, Avatar, Peter Tosh, and Feasible the Germ.
Nice.
The show is $12 for entry. If you wear something red, like I am, you get $2 off, so it would essentially be $10. The show is going to be hosted by Cy Hollywood with special guest of DJ Sketch. This event will be at the Crocodile, which means that you kind of need to get there early.
Especially parking down there. If you don't know where to park, please get there early. Parking is always really hectic at the Crocodile, so make sure you wear red and get there early, for sure.
And if you can get there at 8, that's best, because there is all that parking. It's like maybe 9 or 10 spaces that are right in front of the Crocodile and a little bit around the corner, but you have to get there at about 8, 8:10 to get those parking spots, or else you're just not going to go.
And if you feel like you're too early, there's always something to do in Belltown. There's always, Belltown is always active, so definitely get there early. It should be a really good show. Dante Peace, I've seen him live. I've seen Fees live. Turn up, Fees.
There's also a show on the 21st with T-Pain. Kid Ink has a show. I believe it's in April. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that later on. Or should I say we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Because it's not that important right about now.
Not right about now, but you do definitely want to make it to that T-Pain. T-Pain has put on an awesome show. I seen his 3-ring show on the internet one of these days, and it was really good. It's a really good show. He's definitely an entertainer, so catch that T-Pain on March 21st at Nemo's, sponsored by C-Spot, so it should be a really good show. I don't think C-Spot really promotes anything that they can't back up.
Because I think we were just promoting Miley Cyrus going to Tacoma.
Nice. So I really wish I would have made it to that, because I think Miley, my thing about Miley is do whatever the hell you want to do. If there's gay rights, if there's do people smoke crack? Then Miley Cyrus can be Miley Cyrus.
That doesn't make it okay.
Okay, it doesn't make it okay, but shit, people smoke crack.
That doesn't make that okay
and they walk on this earth, just like Miley Cyrus needs to be Miley Cyrus.
All I have to say about Miley Cyrus is, can the real Miley please stand up?
Who is the real Miley?
That's the problem.
But I think Miley has been who she's always wanted to be. I think Miley has always loved the African American race. I think Miley has always wanted to come out of her shell, but she could not. Why? Because entering, she was in this Disney girl face, like everybody else is. Some people stick to that. Some people will just like, I just want to do me. And if you look at her documentary, she says she just wants to be the bad bitch that she is.
When did this documentary come out?
This is a documentary that's been on VH1 for a minute.
I don't know why, but I just feel like...
I like Miley. I do.
This is my issue with Miley. Miley Cyrus is an actress.
She is, but so she's a singer too. And if she stuck to country, her voice would
stick to country.
No, I'm not saying she should stick to country, but she does have that voice for country. But because she wants to break out, she's being featured on other songs like R&B, hip-hop, and things like that. I really feel like with Miley's attitude, if you really look past that she used to be a Disney star, country singer, to what she is now, I really feel like this was that breakthrough that she always wanted.
I don't know. I almost feel like you're doing this for attention.
It's selling records.
It is selling records.
I mean, it's giving
her money.
That.
I'm not gonna deny she's not getting paid by it.
She's too deep in it to say that it's just an act.
Well, that's fine. But my point is this. With Miley being an actress like she is, it makes it to where you don't really know what's real and what's not a script that's been written for her, because they know if you hop on that stage with a freaking Robin Thicke and you rub your ass on his penis, knowing good and well that freaking Paula Patton, although they are separated right now, will sit in that front row and she's looking at you guys like, you know it's going to be controversial. And I feel like once she started doing all this controversial crap, she just kept going with it because she knew that it would make her to where she was popular, and it just makes it to where I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like she's definitely stuck to the script ever since she's broke out.
She doesn't really have a choice.
I mean,
Party in the USA was nothing like that.
No, it wasn't. But that, if you notice, she went from country to that Party in the USA. She's like, dang, I'm having fun with this stuff. Like, hey. And then she goes on to breaking out. And anyways, Miley Cyrus, I respect her. I just like, fuck it. If it gets you your money, girl, do whatever the hell you want to do. It's a free world. It's a free country. What do we do all this shit with colonies and all this stuff to be free? Why can't we just be whoever the hell we want to be? Slaves did all this shit to be free. Miley can be free. Let her do her.
Don't mean I gotta like it.
No, you don't gotta like it. But, you know, now that we're into celebrities.
Bobby Christina. First of all, she's at a party a few days ago. Because I guess she just turned like 21 or something like that.
Finally. Shit.
She's been Justin Bieber
underage for forever. Girl, I can't wait till Justin Bieber turns 21. But then it might be a tragedy because Justin Bieber has been off the straight up hook lately. Justin Bieber has been, but back to Bobby Christina.
So, let me see. Do I have any notes on that? Not necessarily. From what we know, and this is kind of still all of like an alleged type things, like there's no video, no pictures of what's gone on. Apparently they were having like some get together. Bobby Christina and Nick Gordon, who she's actually apparently married to now.
Which is pretty disgusting because he's been like a family friend since he was a little boy, and technically he's like family. So Bobby Christina, you're wrong for marrying your family member, period.
But think of it this way. We didn't know about Nick until Whitney Houston died. So how do we really know that Bobby Christina, all this time, truly seen him as her brother?
That's true.
Because think about it.
Low key.
You never know. Like, maybe they're
not blood.
Exactly. First of all, they're not blood.
Yeah.
And second of all, you know, we didn't know anything about them. So it's not like we would see them as brother and sister the whole time. We just seen them. We seen him after Whitney Houston died.
Right.
And once we seen them, they were like a couple. So for all we know, it could have always been like that.
True.
And Whitney may have known and just didn't give a fuck.
Very true. And no one can back that up because Whitney is dead, who I love. I love you, Whitney, but I think you condone a lot of things that are not okay because, like you said, crack is whack, but you were smoking crack. So,
Smoking damn kneecaps off, didn't she?
Rest in peace, Whitney, but girl, you was smoking crack and you said crack is whack. Just because you put it in a blunt, that don't mean that it's not crack. Crack is not that whack to you. Really?
I'm just saying.
I don't fuck with Bobby Christina anyway because she look like Bobby.
Is it bad that I'm kind of annoyed that I can hear voices outside of this room that we're recording in right about now?
No, that's not bad because it's actually kind of annoying to me too. Bitch, public service announcements and shit like that. Ain't nobody on top of that. We're doing some shit right now.
But it's true though.
But it's very true.
We walked out of this bitch.
To
fucking like, go pee.
Fuck that.
And mind you, your monkey ass was in my goddamn room at my time. This bitch gonna lean into me during my fuck out of here moment and be like, "Can you hear me that bottle?" Bitch.
I was trying to spice that up and get to your level.
Any hoodles.
What?
So we walk out of here to go to the fucking bathroom because we gotta pee. You see this goddamn bottle?
Yeah.
Anyways, it was new when we got here. So we go out here to go pee. And as we leave, this guy's like, shh. And I was like, shh.
Shush. Shush is one of those fucking things that always irritates your eardrum, no matter who's doing it or where the situation is, why the situation is, or anything like that. Shush is one of those things that fucking irks your soul. And I've always hated shush.
And it's like, you're directly outside of my room.
Move.
I know you can hear me. Because we're not very quiet in here. In other celebrity news, we do have someone by the name of Miss Ashley Nicole. She's a model. She happens to be dating an NFL player. And apparently, as she was, I don't know if she was leaving a hospital or wherever the hell she was going, she ended up breastfeeding her son. Now, when she posted this photo on Instagram, people did not like it.
And as soon as I heard it, I thought automatic hate. I think that breastfeeding is a part of motherhood, and me being a mother, I'm like, look, that's just what comes with the territory. She looks really good while she's breastfeeding, and anyone who had something to say about it, fuck you, because apparently her husband thought that there was nothing wrong with it.
I quite frankly didn't get the issue.
I don't get the issue either. It's her business. It's her Instagram. If you don't like it, don't follow her and move on with your life. That's just mind your own goddamn business.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
A little bit later.
Now, we don't have enough news on this to really go in.
Yet.
But we do have some questions. Now,
because this is some tea. I'm telling you, this is some real tea. And this is some typical down the road type shit. So.
Hella down the road type shit.
Hella down the road type shit.
What?
Nobody got time for that.
So, apparently, I don't know if it was 1980 or 1988, okay? There is a 31-year-old roaming around who's apparently a singer claiming to be Michael Jackson's son.
So, what bothers me is, like, Michael has been dead for what? 3-4 years now?
I feel like it was in, like, 2009?
Something. Let Michael rest in peace. You're not going to gain anything by claiming to be his son now. 31 years old? You're 31 years old and you're just now saying something about being Michael Jackson's son? Yep. You're just now the mother of someone that is Michael Jackson's son? Yep. No, honey. That's when you're about a couple months, 1, 2. Leave it alone. Okay? Michael Jackson has, what, 3 kids?
I heard that those are even his kids.
Paris, other one. Anyway, either way it goes, leave Michael alone. Let Michael rest in peace. You're not going to gain anything off of this. You're definitely going to have to do more than enough to prove it. So why even put yourself in that situation if you've held off for 31 years? What do you think you're going to gain?
That's my thing, because from what I've read about it, it's not like they've had, like, a recent DNA test. It's not like they've redone anything. This DNA test, let me see. It was done in, like, 1979.
79? Move on. Oh, my God. I cannot believe it was done in 79.
It was in, like, 1979, 1980. Like, what? It's 2014, and you're just now coming out to say something. Why? I understand that, you know, you want to know who your father is. I understand that you want the world to know who your father is, but...
I know what that is. That's record sales.
That's you want some money.
You want some record sales.
You probably can't pay
I'm Michael
rent.
Jackson's son. I'm a part of the Jacksons. I want some money about this.
TMZ's going to interview me. Oprah's going to interview me. Let it really come out that that's Michael Jackson's son, and he's been living in his shadows this whole time. He's going to get some money because people are going to have to pay him to talk to him.
He is going to get some money, but he better really be Michael Jackson's son, because ain't nobody got no time for that. You coming up with all this shit, talking about you Michael Jackson's son. You better really be Michael's son. Because if you on Oprah, mind you, I want to meet that bitch. If you on Oprah, okay, you better be worth being on Oprah and not just lying to get on Oprah. Because I've been trying to meet Oprah, nigga.
In reality TV news, we don't really have a lot to talk about, but we do want to mention that Love and Hip Hop ATL is coming back May of 2014, and we also want to mention that there is a photo that Jocelyn Hernandez posted on her Instagram, and on this whole portion of Stevie J's nose, there is a white substance. I don't know if he was sniffing baby powder. I don't know if Jocelyn's vagina squirts out white powder. I don't know if he was literally snorting crack. Whatever he was doing, it was right there on the nostril.
Now, like Rick James said on the Dave Chappelle show, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Jocelyn, girl, you should have known that shit. You should have known y'all was sniffing that shit before you took the picture. You should have checked to see if the shit was on his nose before you took the picture. You're out of control. You should have took that picture down. Bitch, ain't nobody got no time for that. Damn. And you know what? I know she seen that shit. She didn't give a damn. She knew what they was doing.
In case y'all did not see the photo, there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but right there. You see the arrow? Yeah. Right on the nostril. Stop looking at her boobs. Right there on the nostril.
They're nice boobs, though.
They are nice boobs.
They lead to a nice little pack on the stomach.
They do.
Area.
But they're not real boobs. In hoodles.
Hey, nothing's wrong with implants. If you can afford it, fuck it.
When you have fake titties, and then you have someone that has real titties, and then that person with real titties hits the gym and loses that same weight that the person with fake titties did. Ooh. The person with real titties has no titties.
That's
the person with fake titties gets to keep their fake titties.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying about that.
But fuck that. If I become an old bitch, you best believe she's gonna get lifted.
The moment that I have a kid, because I ain't got no kids, I ain't got no man. I'm a single ass bitch.
I kept my titties, though. I had a baby. I kept my boobies.
All I'm saying is that I started working out and I lost my titties. So I know if I have kids and I breastfeed, I ain't going to have titties. So
gravity is going to take control.
So I'm going to get a lift. I'm okay with a lift. We're talking about a couple fake things that women get done, altered to their body a little bit later on. Next topic is going to be a little bit about music.
There's a couple of things that I want to touch on. First off, the Rick Ross album, Mastermind, is out. I really like the album so far. Devil Is a Lie is the single on that album. I really think that Rick was a little bit slower on this album, but, there are some hype moments, and not necessarily the beats, but they're more the lyrics that he's trying to deliver on a high note. For some reason, I don't know.
It's like a Meek Mill yell. Kind of turn down a few notches. But it's still like, the devil is a lie.
Lie.
The devil is a lie. What? What is going on?
That ain't even you, bro.
All I'm saying is that when it comes to the Rick Ross album, it's not that I'm not necessarily a fan of hip-hop. I don't like slow hip-hop. Like, Kendrick Lamar has a tendency to do a hip-hop type thing, but the way he talks, it's sped up. It's to where you can still kind of move to it. You can still kind of groove to it. If you smoke, you're kind of vibing to it. But it's not like just one note.
Well, I think Rick was trying to stick to one script the whole album.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. Versatile is, obviously the way. But, I think it works for Rick. He's kind of trying to prove this. I'm still a D-boy. I'm not Officer Ricky. I am Rick Ross. I am a boss. So let him do his thing. He was okay. Devil's a lie. The devil's a lie. That's what he said.
I only like that song when I'm at the gym.
Girl.
I'm forever hitting. I'm tired of this song.
As long as it's on Pandora, I'll listen to the shit. Fuck it. Anyways, moving on.
Did you ever get a chance to listen to the Ashanti album?
I have not. Braveheart. But it's Ashanti.
So this is the thing with the album. When it comes to hip-hop and rap music, I kind of look for things that make me move, things that make me think, things that I can kind of vibe to, you know what I mean? R&B, I kind of look for the same things. Not necessarily things that make me vibe, but I instantly want to like it when I hear it. And I want to feel like, oh yeah, that song was bomb. Let me put that on replay real quick. I listened to that album once, and I don't need to listen to it again.
It's Ashanti. What do you expect? I mean, nowadays you have singers. You have Beyonce. You know what I mean? You have Janae Aiko. You have people that can really sing and really perform. See?
Where's Carrie Hilson been?
My name is Carrie, and I'm so very. That's where she's at still.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Okay. But anyways, you have Janae Aiko. You have many people that are really, really doing their thing right now. And Ashanti doesn't have the voice. She doesn't have the stage presence. All she has is her looks. And I'm just feeling like I love music to the point where it's like I'm listening to what you have to say. Ashanti, she's a good music writer for other people, but she picks songs for herself that doesn't work. I think the last Ashanti album that was really popping, that might have been her only album that was popping. Typical. Please turn that off. It's hurting my ears.
Okay. Anyways. I just have to prove my point.
You know, the movie was an okay album because she had some beats and she still was under Murder Inc. Irv Gotti, who is to me a real businessman because he got caught up in this shit. I feel like
he seems messy according to her interview, though.
According to her interview on The Breakfast Club, but I really think that Irv is really a businessman. He just tried to use his drug money for something better than drugs. I think he tried to take his drug money out of drug money and put it into something positive so that he can make something positive in the future.
I just feel like he ran with his emotions too far when it came to her career. She was talking about how, like, I don't know if you guys listened to her interview on The Breakfast Club, but she was basically talking about how there were a lot of artists and a lot of producers that wanted to work with her, and Irv would be the one to tell her no, or essentially would tell them no and would give them an answer from her, and she, quote unquote, didn't know about it. Now, if she's telling the truth, that's some fucked up ass shit.
That bitch is lying. Okay?
I said if.
She tried to make it seem like, oh, he just tried to make us seem like we're the best. We're just, you know, put us on a pedestal. But at the end of the day, you always known what Irv was trying to do. Don't play with me right now. Because you claim that you were so loyal to him. If you were so loyal to him, then you knew the steps along the way.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that she knew what he was doing.
She
just
did
because you're low, but I'm saying not necessarily. We don't necessarily know what was going on behind the scenes. Like, you can't really say, okay, she knew this. You can say if she knew this, but we don't really know for a fact that she knew that Keisha Cole was trying to do a song with her. We don't necessarily know for a fact that Pharrell was trying to work with her, although I'm not really sure if that was really true. But
I really feel like it was like, this person, but I don't want you to work with them because, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, oh, okay. You know, she sat back. As you seen in her interview, she was more like, now that I'm brave enough to say, it's like, what else were you not brave enough to say?
But according to her, while she was working with him, working with Murder Inc. or whatever, before it dissolved, as she calls it.
Oh, God. She said it dissolved.
Yeah, she said it dissolved. She was like,
Girl,
Murder Inc. just dissolved. I was like, that's some fucked up ass shit to say,
that's
okay.
just shady.
She basically said that these people would want to work with her, but she didn't know about it until they would approach her years later. So, if that's true, like, I mean, social media wasn't that big back then, but I just still feel like they could have still gotten to her somehow. I don't know, that sounds crazy to me. Like, they literally went to Irv rather than her.
Right. And I don't think Irv would have been that mad at her and that saying she was not loyal. Because notice that he didn't say too much about Ja Rule.
No.
But he really blurted out about how unloyal she was. If you've seen in her interview, even Charlamagne was saying something like, well, that's not what Irv said. Yeah. Irv said you wasn't loyal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't think that he would really...
The wheels
fell off. I had this in Canada and going on, and I had a contract that said blase, 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 and I wasn't supposed... But I was there at trial, but my thing is, Irv wouldn't have been that mad at her. He's not that mad at nobody else on the label but her.
But... wasn't she, like, the only girl on the label?
She was the only female on the label.
Now, here's my question.
No.
But you see where I'm going with this,
There was Vita, though.
But did he fuck with Vita?
I don't know. He might have fucked Ashanti.
According to them, Irv is a Cancer. Cancers are very emotional, which means that they kind of rule with their emotions. So if they want to fuck you over, they're going to do that just because their heart is still pissed off at you. I'm not necessarily saying that this is what happened. I'm saying that would make sense.
In the meantime, in between time, Fuck Ashanti. I don't feel like she was that loyal. I don't feel like she has that much talent. I think that she's holding on to that she was with Nelly to have something to talk about. And I feel like she's using that to promote this new Braveheart album. Ashanti, I don't really fuck with her. I don't.
Speaking of Nelly, one thing I will say about Ashanti, that girl was prepped and Band-Aid and glued together before she went to that interview, because when they would ask her a question, she was quick to think about it
and not say too much.
No. She'd be like, no.
Let's get back to the album.
No. Well, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Well, I think if you notice though, Nelly's a really private person. He's not too out loud, and I'm sure he's doing a lot of things right now. So is she. But she's more to speak on the relationship than he is. He doesn't really speak too much about their relationship, if you really notice, along the lines. People
I
are probably
watched any of his interviews. I really don't care
about
Nelly.
Well, Nelly's fine as hell, first of all.
He's short as hell, first of all.
He's sexy as hell, first of all.
He's short as hell, first of all.
But still, he's sexy as hell, first of all. And
you lose sexy points when you're short.
But if you notice, like, you don't hear anything about, like, Nelly's family. You don't hear anything about children. You don't hear really anything. I think he really keeps her on a hush-hush. I think he tells her not to say too much about their relationship, just to give people something to guess about. I don't think Nelly's really that type of person that really wants his relationship on blast. Maybe, and I think he keeps her a little bit tamed because of that.
In general, with everything that they asked her, she was very careful about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, she's going independent, so you don't want to burn your bridges anyway.
That's true. It's not like you're Mariah Carey and you have a whole label behind you talking about, we just gonna pay these radio stations a whole bunch of money to pay your music
and that
every
is
5
faithful
minutes.
Behind you, first of all. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Know that.
I don't think this video will be any shorter than the last one.
No.
But that's okay.
That's fine.
Let's chat a little bit about dating. This is the part that we kind of like to do at the end of the video to kind of just be ourselves a little bit. And if I have to cuss you out, that's okay. Yeah. Cant Raise A Man is going to be the subject, and it's inspired by K. Michelle's song, Cant Raise A Man.
I love Kay. I really love Kay.
I do. I do. Although I didn't like the friggin' camel toe she had in that picture.
Ooh, the camel toe was wrong. And she was just shaking and gyrating and camel toe. I said, no, Kay. Girl, the outfit wasn't even that cute.
But you ain't Beyonce. Stop it.
Stop with the cat suits, y'all. Everybody can wear a cat suit. Just because you got a fat ass don't mean you can wear a cat suit. Stop.
It's nasty.
Nasty.
And then that happens.
Ew.
And then you don't wear underwear with the goddamn cat suit.
You know what, girl? And you better be lucky your vagina wasn't
And then you
sweating.
sweat?
Ew.
That's probably why it got up there, because you was... Anyways.
Nasty. But inspired by K. Michelle, Cant Raise A Man, I think we can all relate to this subject. A lot of men act like boys. We know that.
And I've personally gotten to the point where, you know, I'm 24. I do turn 25 this year. I've been single technically for about 4 years now. And, yeah. And that's because every guy that I get with is like a child. And I'm at a point where I have to raise myself. And, you know, I feel like it really bothers me when people pop out of nowhere and they'll be like, oh, you're not grown, or this is what it means to be grown. You're never grown. But I'm not going to raise you. You can always be at a point where you're growing, where you're evolving. I never feel like you should ever be at a point where you're 40 and you feel like you're done growing. I feel like you should be done growing when you're dead. There's always something for you to learn. A 2-year-old can teach you a lesson, to be quite frank.
That's very true. You can learn from any age.
It doesn't matter.
And whoever said 40 is the new 30, 30 is the new 20, that's a lie. You're grown as hell. Leave that alone.
Or grow up.
I don't think you can raise a man, because if he's already a man, then that means he was raised right. And he's not. Therefore, he's still considered a boy. I don't care where you are, and age-wise, mentality-wise, if you're a boy to me, period.
And at that point, you have to raise yourself, and you have to want to change. So what that essentially means is, I remember at one point, I would date, like, drug dealers. It is what it is. And I would date, like, gangbangers and all kinds of
Because at a certain age, you're still superficial. You're still I'm into the guy with the money, and I want him to have a nice car and be able to do for me
they
and
always
himself.
Have cars. But
girl, you gotta have a car.
They always have cars. But I would feel like I could change them. I would feel like, because they would always be older than me, and I was so mature for my age, I could mellow them out and help them find a job. But it's like you can't do that when someone's a grown-ass mofo. It don't happen.
If you're comfortable living at home with your mom.
And that's the thing, comfortable.
You're comfortable living at home with your mom. I had a conversation with a certain person the other night, and I said, "Do you have your own place yet?" This fool gonna tell me.
That's when I fix my hair.
Comfortable where I'm at. Now, where he's at is at his mom's house, and she lives in an apartment. She don't even live in a house.
How old
shade, but no shade. 20. I don't give a damn. If you call yourself a man, you need to be living in your own shit. Don't be telling me you live at your mama's house and you're comfortable where you're at. If I can't come to your shit, your establishment, I don't want nothing to do with you. And that's just period, point blank, bottom line. We ain't always driving my car. Sometimes we gonna drive your car. And I always got my own car, but we ain't always gonna drive my car.
You better have your own shit too.
You better have your shit together.
Because this is the thing. What if you want shit? How the hell can you surprise me on a date? And I'm driving.
Problem is, what if I wasn't driving? How you gonna surprise me on a date? What nigga we gonna take the bus?
Bitch, we gonna take this 101 to the 150 and we going to Pelton Parkway.
He got a trip planner.
It's sad. Like, I'm not saying that you have to. Like, I understand things happen. I sold my car last summer. I crashed another car in December, and I just bought one a couple weeks ago. But I just feel like have your shit together. I don't know why, and you guys can definitely comment below on this, but it's something about a man. A man. He's already grown, what you gonna do? You run the right, acts like a boy. He wasn't raised for you. And you ain't never gonna change nobody. Nope. You can't nobody. Cause you can't raise a man. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Nope. So, this is the thing. Personally, I'm looking for my own apartment right now. When I moved in with my aunt and, my mom has a twin. And we have a big ass house. So it's fine for us all to live in that bitch. We ain't living in no goddamn apartment.
Especially being
and I pay
women.
Rent.
Ooh,
I paid to live in that
girl.
bitch.
Now, side note, one thing I can't take, if you're staying with somebody else, pay some shit. Girl, I'm about to go in. I'm going all the way in. Girl, buy some tissue, some toilet paper, some toothpaste, some shit. Pay where you lay. Okay? I don't have time for a bitch, especially if you big, bitch. If you big, bitch, don't let me see you sitting on the couch every time I come in from work, bitch. I got a problem with a bitch that ain't doing nothing but looking for some fun, honking and coughing all over shit. Bitch, I need you to sit the fuck down like you doing all goddamn day. Every time I come in from fucking work, bitch, I see you sitting in the same motherfucking spot. Move your big ass. Move your big ass out the way. Every time I come in from out the gym, every time I come in from my motherfucking work, bitch, I gotta see your big motherfucking ass coughing and coughing and coughing and shit. And bitch, you steal. I don't like you, bitch. You motherfucking steal. I'm ready for you to be gone. That was a ventilation system kind of thing. Cause she's a really big stupid bitch, and she just sits on the couch. Every time I come in, the bitch is sitting there. I'm like, bitch, I just got off work. Why do I want to see your motherfucking ass just sitting there? Bitch, I just deal with somebody's motherfucking stinking ass mouth all goddamn day. Their fucking breath was coming through my motherfucking mask, bitch. And you gonna sit up here, and every time I come in, you're in the same motherfucking spot? Fuck you, bitch. And you ain't even look for a job all goddamn day. Not even a little bit. Not a job, not a shelter. Anyway, moving on.
Next subject, because I have nothing else to say.
Bitch, you broke your shit.
It comes apart. Don't worry.
She irritates me, man. I swear to God, every time I come in and see this big, fat, fluffy ass bitch, flat back whale. Anyway.
So, Let's talk a little.
My hair looks tea, by the way. My hair is looking super duper tea. But the thing that I don't like about my hair is that I've always gotten compliments about. So, mind you, I wear wigs. I don't give a fuck. Wigs are fun. I can go work out in my wig. I can change my wig.
And
I got about 4-5 of my wigs, and I don't even care. But if you have a problem with my wig,
and you're male,
I can't mess with you, bruh.
So let's chat a little bit about this. There are men. Mm-hmm. And women, we all know, especially African American women, what we don't realize is that, to be quite technical about it all, white women were, shut up Siri, white women were wearing wigs before we were wearing wigs.
And not only that, they wear weave more than we do too.
You just can't tell as well because it's their hair texture. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, mm-hmm. there are men that prefer women to wear weaves or over wigs. And usually it's because they don't come off.
Real shady is that they do come off. Just because it's held together by some string doesn't mean anything. I mean, I got clips, I got bobby pins, I got all kind of things that'll hold this wig together. I got glue, I got all kind of shit that will hold this wig together. I have no shame in wearing my wigs because, first of all, I got hair. Second of all...
I do.
Second of all...
My hair actually stops here. I'm not bald.
Like, I don't have a problem with wearing wigs and taking my wig off and being able to be like, boom, boom, this is me. But if I could do a hair flip on a bitch, it'd be with a wig.
This is my thing. My question is, at one point when I was dating, I was like, Jasmine, I can't be wearing wigs if I'm dating somebody. I was like, last thing I need is for them to pull this shit off during intimate situations. But...
fuck that.
If you pull my shit off during an intimate situation, I'm gonna slap you with it because you already knew the deal.
You know it was a wig in the first damn
And even
place.
then, if it wasn't, it would be a weave. Why are you touching my hair?
Right.
Men, no. African American women, we don't like you touching our hair. Mm-mm. At least if it's mine, I don't mind.
I want to know if it's a weave or not. It don't fucking matter.
I'll tell you.
Own goddamn business. I don't have no shame in telling you, but in the meantime, mind your own goddamn business. Do it look good? All right, then. You see my last fight?
I don't really understand the problem. I want men to let us know. Let the juice girls know.
Right.
What is the issue with wigs? I understand that you don't necessarily like that it comes off, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So are you going to say that you're not going to date a woman that wears wigs? Because last I checked, Nicki Minaj moved houses because her wig room was not big enough. Mm-hmm. I remember when she was doing her show. I can't remember what the name of her show was, but people were like, "Are we gonna see you without a wig on?" She was like, "No, you guys will not see me without a wig until my hair is past my bra strap."
I like it,
and she was dead ass about that because now that her hair was this long, she shows her hair every once in a while. She actually recently posted some pictures on Instagram of her butt ass naked, right after she came out the shower. But you only could see her from the back, and you could see her hair being really wet, just laying on her back. But point being, why does it really matter if a woman's wearing a wig versus a weave?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, a real fashionable, care about what she looks like type of chick is going to make sure, for one, that her wig is on point. Okay? She's not just going to wear any type of wig. She's going to make sure that it looks good, it's laid. So what's the problem? Fake hair is fake hair. And I don't mean it's not human, but I mean that it's not yours. Fake hair is fake hair. So if you're okay with a wig, why are you not, a weave, why are you not okay with a wig?
I'm waiting.
Don't worry, I'll wait. I'm going to wear my wigs to the death. Fuck it.
As long as I'm going to the goddamn gym, I don't care what you men say. I'll be damned if just to impress a man, I'm going to sleep with sweaty, wet, stank hair.
And a lot of you bitches claim to be working out lately, so please.
The shit that I see in that damn gym, I see conversations. I actually posted on Facebook recently. I was like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't come to the gym to chat. I come here to work out and get the fuck out of here. I got other shit to do.
Bottom line is, if it looks good, it looks good. What's the point of being upset at someone for being who they want to be? You know what I mean?
And if anything, I want to know what's the difference? Because if a weave is in my hair, why are you okay with that, but you're not okay with the wig? Mm-mm. It's just like, you're okay with women with fake titties, but not a fake ass. Mm-mm. What's the problem?
And a lot of people
it's still fake.
A lot of people are talking a lot of shit about a fake ass, but girl, let me tell you.
They don't say nothing about no titties.
I'll get injected in a heartbeat. No shade.
I like to sit down. I don't think so. I'll do my squats.
I like to sit down, but guess what, girl? I researched it, and you cannot sit down you can sit down in increments of 20 minutes for over a couple weeks of time.
This bitch really researched this shit.
I really did, because I'm going to get me an ass, girl. If Dre can do it, I can do it. Shout out to Dre.
Do some squats.
I do squats. But, girl, if I don't got enough fat back there, girl, I can't have my ass sitting up and it ain't shit back there. No, Look, I will get me an ass in a heartbeat. I don't have no problem with people doing plastic surgery or injections or anything like that. What I have a problem with is excessiveness, when it doesn't look natural, when it looks overboard and shit like that.
When you look like Big Ange from Mob Wives, that's the problem.
Ain't that the same bitch with the fucking hairline that come right here?
No,
okay.
That's another one from another story. I think that's like New Jersey or something like that.
Girl,
but she look crazy too.
She look crazy as hell.
It's like that much forehead.
Girl.
But it's natural because her kids got that same forehead.
Girl, that forehead is crazy.
I feel bad.
Girl, a lace front wouldn't do her no justice.
It would actually make it worse. Last topic of the night.
But not least, topic of the night.
Mind yo business.
Oh, business. Please mind your own business.
If there's one thing I hate, it's when someone is speaking on something and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I have no idea.
Now, let me say this before I start talking a little bit more into this.
Right.
I understand that when you post things on Facebook, you're technically posting them for anyone to kind of comment on them and say what the fuck they have to say. But if you are the commenter,
and you have to comment for sure, like you got to make sure you comment, no matter what the situation is, no matter the topic, you got to make sure you comment on it. That's kind of like that guy.
Please know what the fuck you're talking about. How about that?
How about that?
Okay.
Facts are always good.
How about we just say what the fuck happened earlier that's making me say up this damn topic, because I really don't give a fuck. So, since I've broken my MacBook Pro, every once in a while I'll post on Facebook about how I need to go get my Mac fixed. And everybody's always like, oh, why don't you use your Apple Care, whatever. I don't have Apple Care. And every single fucking time, every single time, one person, it's always someone different. Always someone different. They go in my goddamn comment section like they really fucking know me. And it's always people that don't really know me. Like, I've never even met you on Facebook or Twitter or something. You always got some shit to fucking say. And they want to comment in my shit. And be like, why don't you have Apple Care? Why would you get a MacBook without Apple Care? Mind your motherfucking business, because I bought my fucking Mac off Craigslist. How about that?
How about it don't fucking matter why I don't got no goddamn Apple Care. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm posting because I'm posting, and you ain't got too much shit to say about it. How about that?
Mind your fucking business. Like, this is the thing. You're over. All these people are telling me, why don't you get Apple Care? Why don't you use Apple Care? If you would have known that I didn't get my laptop at Apple because I paid $650 for it for a freaking, I think it was like a mid-2011 MacBook Pro. It was a decent one. It moved pretty quickly, but it didn't have enough space on it for me.
That's what you call spur of the moment purchase.
It was a very spur of the moment purchase. It was literally, I was using my PC one day because my MacBook, like the white MacBook, it wasn't working anymore. It wouldn't charge. It didn't have anything to do with liquid damage. It was something that I realized online happens all the time with MacBooks. So, I have a PC. It's a faithful PC that never goes out on me. Okay? I use it when my Macs aren't working. And I start using it, and it had a virus on it to the point where I couldn't even go to apple.com. That was a problem. So, that same day, I go on Craigslist. I ended up buying me a new MacBook Pro that same day. I found someone that was selling one for $675. He ended up giving it to me for $650 and gave me a case with it. It was good and dandy until I spelt half a cup of coffee on that bitch one day.
Girl, I bought my MacBook.
Shut the fuck up. And so, my point is, mind your fucking fucking business, people. And it's not even like I'm saying you have to completely mind your business, because this is Facebook. You go on there to look at what other people are talking about, what other people are doing. That's fine.
But there is such thing as saying the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's really, why are you so opinionated on my life and what I got going in it? Leave it alone. Okay?
And then you got the church motherfuckers. How about that?
Oh, man.
I remember I recently went to my grandma's birthday party, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, how come you don't visit us anymore? I'm like, visit who? And he's like, us. Who?
Who would SB?
And he was like, I was like, at church? And he was like, yeah. I was like, because I don't want to. And he was appalled. Motherfucker, I know you don't think a 24-year-old's gonna freaking lie to your ass in 2014. Please. Like, I have this thing of, I understand that you respect your elders, but I don't know if this is right to say, but it's me. And if you know me, you know that this is true.
Real life.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care if you're 95. If you've annoyed me, you will know.
You're getting the business.
Unless you're my grandmother. Then I just walk away.
Oh, man, I feel bad because I definitely get my grandmother biz.
I did one time halfway, and then I caught myself. Because my grandma practically raised me.
My grandma raised me. Not practically, but she raised me. But
well, I don't want to say
my grandma raised me to speak my
mother.
mind. She's raised me to speak my mind, and if I have something to say to her, I should say it to her.
Well, is it because there's like a mutual respect to where she understands and she doesn't?
Pretty much.
Okay,
she
knows,
my temperament and things like that. So she knows, like, if I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna go off. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. But yeah.
No, in my case, this was a man. I can't even necessarily remember his last name because it was one of those things where you call them brother or Mr. something. And he
Brother Burns.
Girl. And he rolls up on me and he's like, why don't you visit us? And I'm like, we're at church. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, because I don't want to. And he's like, well, why? I said, because there's certain things that get done and talked about in that church that I don't necessarily agree with. Mm-hmm. That's your point to ask me what? Or drop the subject and walk your little ass away. Mm. No, he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to press the goddamn subject. So because he pressed the goddamn subject, I told his ass, stop fucking talking. How about that? Mind your fucking business. There's a thing of, I don't necessarily want to talk a lot about church, but I will say this. I will say when you go to a Baptist church, there are a lot of people that end up running their fucking mouth, that end up bumping their fucking gums, and essentially end up telling you or preaching to you about things that you really didn't ask them to preach to you about.
Well, it's not necessarily about, they apparently just preach about what comes to their heart, kind of what comes to their soul. But my thing is hypocritical things. You're a hypocrite. If you're doing something outside of church that you're preaching to us not to do, don't be a preacher. Period. Bottom line. This church in particular is messy as hell, mind you. I'm not going to put it out there, but this church in particular
know where I go.
Is messy as hell. That pastor, his wife, the congregation, the kids, not the whole congregation, because there's some faithfuls, there's some old faithfuls, but most of it are okay with what he's doing, and I'm not okay with what he's doing, and I would never go there. I would never go there. I would never feel saved. I would never feel like I'm actually giving my life to God being preached to by this man, because he is potentially one of the worst pastors as far as attitude goes that I've ever met.
This is one of those things about that particular pastor. When I went there and I was younger, I liked him. Because when he would preach, I would understand what he was talking about.
Because he preached in that way.
Now that I'm older, and then you stop going for a little while, watch little Joel Osteen, kind of get your life that way. You go back, and then you hear this pastor talking about, oh, I don't agree with gay marriage. I won't marry any gay. Oh, you missed that day?
But what's sad is that he talked about the gays in the congregation.
He sure did. He said
that's what made it bad.
This is what he said. He said, and this is exactly what he did. I'm going to do all his motion. He said, we have gay people in our congregation. We have gay people in here within us right now, but I will not marry them. Yo, he threw his fist out and said, I will not marry them.
That's like a Black Power moment. Like
he said no. And then said Barack Obama, and this is back on Mother's Day of 2013, a little bit before Barack Obama had said that he's for gay marriage. He was like, I don't think Barack Obama knows what he's done. I don't think that he's realized that he's opened up a new can of worms. He said, first gay marriage, next polygamy. My black ass got the fuck up and walked out. How about that? I was gone. And didn't come back for 6 to 7 months. And the only reason why I came back is because my mother asked me to come back.
That's wrong on so many counts. Oh my God.
You just admitted that there's gay men or gay women or whatever have you in the church. And you just said you won't marry them.
Why were they not the ones to get up and walk out?
I don't know, but Janae did. I like penis all day. But I still rolled out of there.
All day long. But that's not okay. That's not okay.
Rolled out so quick. Have not been a big fan of the church ever since then. And you know, every once in a while I go back and then they're like, why don't you come? I don't feel like it. I don't want to come somewhere where I feel like I'm being judged. And that's just not even with church in general. But you would think that when you go to church, that would be the one place where you won't be judged. That would be the one place where somebody won't be coming at you all crazy, trying to tell you X, Y, and Z and what you should and shouldn't be doing. You would think that would be the one place. But in our case, it's not. It's the one place where you will go, where someone will tell you that you shouldn't be drinking, you shouldn't be smoking, you shouldn't be having sex out of wedlock, although their son has a kid out of wedlock and always has a different chick up in that bitch every goddamn week.
And the wife wears, like, mini skirts. Like,
her ass is fat. I should know that.
Huge. Okay?
Like,
where your
pencil
church
dresses.
at? Okay?
Doing the Holy Ghost dance.
Girl. T. Man, it's been so fun hanging with you guys tonight. I'm Jazzy M.
And I'm Janae Besa.
And we will see you next week on another episode of The Justified Juice. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at The Justified Juice, on Twitter at Jazzy M Juice, and
mine is, of course, Janae Besa. You can also follow our Justified Juice Twitter at Justified Juice. We don't have an Instagram yet, but her Instagram is Jazzy M Juice and mine's is Janae Besa.
Yep, and we will have some podcasts coming up soon.
Tomorrow.
One being on flaveworld.com and another being on...
Hopefully we will have the podcast on Juice Radio, but we're still in a little bit of negotiations for that. So stay tuned.
D-Money, you hear us?
I'm just saying.
The Horizon.
We're coming.
You hear us? We're coming for you.
Come
crash your show one time.
Man, we're going to talk so much shit. Y'all going to want us to be there 24/7. It might have to be a 4-way show at least once a month.
Once a month. I'm just saying. All right, you guys. It's been fun. Bye.
As always, we definitely have to come out and do a quick shout out to cspot.com for letting us use this lovely little room. Eventually, we might have a green screen up in here, but right about now, I don't know. This is fine. I'm not tripping about this.
Yes.
So until then, shout out to Ken for letting us use this room, and make sure that you check out his interview on Como News, and I believe that he had an interview on like Seattle Times or something like that also.
He did have one on Seattle
That's what I thought. So make sure you check him out at Kun Love on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all Kun Love.
Nice. Shout out to C-Spot. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bloop.
Y'all should see Base's booty in these pants. It's huge.
It is not.
It's huge.
No, it is not. Is it?
It's huge. Of a bitchalism. A bitchalism. I was watching the old Jamie Foxx, and he was like,
"You see what this bitch says to me while I'm drinking?"
He was talking about bitchalism, and he was like, when you run up and hit somebody, you be like, bitch.
I'm so done with you. Goodbye.
I've been drinking. I went to Walgreens and got some tequila, babe. I've been drinking.
Lord have mercy. Let me find out you was drinking before you got your ass here.
You got me fitty, baby. I want you. Nah.
Sorry, I need to fluff. Man. If it ain't gonna be mine, I at least gotta be mine. Here to at least make sure it's right if it ain't gonna be yours. She just jealous of me, 'cause I'm hotter in these streets. The winter paces beat the heat. You're living in a fairy tale. You can tweet your life away. Tweet. You be fucking a lot of niggas.